Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and we're here because I found this video a few days ago, and I watched it, and I realized that there were a lot of things that this video got wrong, and I'm gonna explain it, I guess, in my way, how I see things at least. Now, to clarify, I am a big fan of Dream. Okay, now let me state this: I'm a big fan of Dream, meaning I regularly watch his content, I watch him stream, I watch his friends stream, I am up to date with the Dream SMP lore, I've watched him play, I watch a lot of his content, and I find him, both as him as a person and his content, to be entertaining. Okay, so we got that part up. I think that his take on stands, though I can see where he's coming from, isn't entirely correct, and I'll explain why. But let's play the video to see if I can explain some things that he says.
Your fans must be stopped is something that's been said a lot on YouTube and Twitter over the last year or so, involving a specific type of fan known as a stan. Now, the word stan was originally meant as stalker fan, but it slowly shifted to more.
Yeah, the first time I personally heard the name Stan was obviously, probably for many people, was from the Eminem song. The Eminem song Stan, and it was where there was this hyper fixated person who was way too interested in Eminem, found saw his raps and was extremely obsessed with him. Okay.
Meaning super fan than anything else. One of the things that a lot of people point out is that I have a lot of stans. I've seen comment after comment after comment on other people's channels about, well, Dream's great, but his stans are just super toxic. I've seen plenty of commentary channels trying to make videos about how horrible my stans are and how horrible stans are in general. And so I guess this is just pretty much my response to all of those videos and comments. And if you came to this video expecting me to talk about how I have too many stalkers and how stans suck, you'll be leaving disappointed. But
all right, here's a problem that I've noticed. Dream doesn't have as much stans as everyone is telling him he has. Now, does he have stans? Yes. Are all of his stans toxic and immature? Yes. But before anyone starts going to the comments, starts typing really hard and go, but I'm a stan and I'm not toxic at all, I'm going to explain later in the video why that is the case.
Maybe with a different perspective. I encourage anybody who thinks that to just listen to me, hear me out, let's have a conversation. So, there's a few things that stans are generally known for. They usually have their profile picture as a picture of their favorite creator, their social media names might involve that creator, and they generally tweet a lot or keep close update on what their favorite creators are doing.
Now that's not a stan. Because, you see, there's a reason why stan and fan are two separate words. You see, fans of Dream can have those things and not be a stan. So this argument is kind of shaky.
A lot of people use this to say that stans are obsessive and that it's gross or stalker behavior. And I mean, of course, there's a small subset of actual stalker fans that do things that I wouldn't like or that are creepy, but that's not stans as a whole. The group of people that call themselves Dream stans, or stans of any creator, are just extremely enthusiastic fans. I understand how some...
Okay, so he says that people that call themselves stans are just enthusiastic fans. That statement is correct. The people that call themselves stans are, in fact, just exactly that. Enthusiastic stans. By the very definition that he used of what a stan is, which is a person that is obsessive with stalker-like behavior, that is what an actual stan is. These people that are calling themselves stans are not actually stans. These people that enjoy his content, enjoy him as a person, watch him daily, they're not stans. They're not stans. That's not what a stan is. Okay, what's happening with Dream is that he's getting a stan and fans confused. Because by relabeling Stan as from stalker fan to super fan, what you have incidentally done is you have changed what the word means. But that doesn't change where the word originated from. Right? The word still means stalker fan because that's where it came from. It means a person that is unhealthily obsessed with a person or thing. That is what a stan is.
That isn't a creator might feel creepy if someone does this to them, like if they had a profile picture with your face on it or something. But to a creator, it's no different to a celebrity or a football player or any popular figure. I'm a big football fan, and when I was younger, I had posters, I had shoes, I had jerseys of my favorite players. I watched all the behind-the-scenes videos, I watched all their games. My profile picture on Twitter was my favorite player waving the flag of my favorite team. And I looked up to a lot of players, and most importantly,
Dream, that makes you a fan, not a stan. Right? Like, so obviously, in a lot of different sort of shows and stuff like that, like the audience will always there'll always be fans, there'll always be haters. And in the past, stans have gone by many different names, right? Like for example, a weeaboo, who is a person that is extremely obsessed with Japanese culture and obsessed with anime to an unhealthy degree. That's what a weeb is. Okay. Now, obviously, the term has been used lightly because I joke about me being a weeb. I mean, yeah, I watch a lot of anime and I love Japan, but I'm not obsessed with it to the point that it is unhealthy. But for some people, it is. Some people are unhealthily obsessed with it. They will decorate their homes to the point that it is cluttered. So much so with all these posters, and for the most part, that part's kind of fine. But there are some parts of it that get a little weird, and I'm sure that if you watch it, so and stans have existed way in the past, right? And they've just gone by different names. Like weeb is technically just a term for an anime stan. That's what it is, right? And stans do exist for sports. They do. Okay, I've met them. I live in the South. I'm in California right now, but I grew up in the South, and there's some fucking people that are a little too obsessed with football. Or I went to my first football game, did not enjoy it, don't like sports. But my dad, everyone around me was yelling when the team would like start losing. They'd be screaming, like cussing at them, like, oh my god, it's crazy, But and I get that. But Dream, from what I'm hearing here is that, dude, you're a fan. You're not a stan, you're a fan.
I loved talking to other people about my favorite team, especially people who also loved that team because we could talk for hours. And I know almost every sports fan can relate to this or even currently does it. But does it sound familiar? That's almost exactly what stans are.
Again, he's changing what stan means. He's changing it from stalker fan to super fan. But that's not what it is. That's not. There's a reason why are they separate terms? They are not synonyms. They are not the same thing. They are not the same thing. Okay? Like a fan is a person that just it's a person, a member of a group of people that like enjoy this specific interest in this particular thing. That's a fan. A stan is someone who is obsessed with it to an unhealthy amount. Those are the two differences. Okay, one is a healthy admiration, and one is an unhealthy obsession. There's a reason that those two terms are not used in the same way together in society.
Me, or to another creator. Now, of course, that didn't make me obsessive. It it made me human. And when you like something a lot, you like to spend more time involving that thing that you like. You talk about it, you tell other people about it, and you try to spend as much time involving it as you can because you enjoy it and it makes you happy. That's what I did with sports when I sat every Saturday from 9 a.m. until 4 in the morning watching football and watching all the different teams and analyzing what would happen and talking about my favorite players and who's going to win the Heisman and, you know, whatever else. And I know if you're not into sports, you may not understand that, but I'm sure there's something that you feel the same way about.
Yeah, there is. Fucking video games, Dungeons and Dragons, comic books, anime, manga. There's so many different things that I'm interested that I talk about all the time with my friends, even to the point where they legitimately get annoyed at me for mentioning it over and over again to them. Dream, you were one of the people that I would talk about, that one of my friends would literally sit there and be like, oh my god, he's talking about Dream again. And I introduced him to you, and he loves your content now. But yeah, that does happen, you know? But I don't consider myself a stan because by the definition of what a stan is, I'm not one. I don't stalk you on Twitter. I don't try to figure out your every move. I don't try to learn what you look like. You know? Stans, who are people who are extremely obsessive of a person when they don't know what they look like, will try their best to know what you look like. That's the big difference. If people are defending your anonymity, if people are saying, guys, let Dream be private, saying he doesn't want to show his face, then don't let him show his face. If they are doing that, they are not stans. They are fans. And not only are they fans, but they are good, respectful fans. That's what they are. They're not stans.
It may not be a real person. It may have been when you were a kid with SpongeBob or Batman or some other fictional character that you look up to. But the point is that you looked up to them and that you really enjoyed that thing. But that's exactly what stans do. So yes, they probably care way more about a Minecraft YouTuber than you could ever imagine yourself to, but that doesn't mean there's not something else that you care a lot about, that they couldn't imagine caring about as much as you. But obviously, there's some fans that take it way too far. That's definitely true, but it's a very, very small amount, and you usually have to go looking for them.
What he's saying is true. So the amount of quote unquote stans that are actually around are actually not that much. They make up probably less than 1% of the actual fan population. I'm not entirely sure because there's not really a way to fucking measure stans. But my guess is that you don't find them that much. Now it is in very rare times it is possible for large numbers of stans to gather up. There's one I'm sure you guys have probably seen it if you're up to date with all this stuff. I forgot there was one YouTuber who no one likes because she did some fucked up shit in the past, and she said that look, I'm a Dream fan, and she had Dream merch, and she went live once. She went on a Instagram live or something, and the Dream stans, not the fans, Dream stans proceeded to flood her chat with stay away from Dream, stay away from Dream, stay away from George, stay away from Sapnap, this crazy amount of it, and honestly, it was just really sad. It was really sad that and Dream, you yourself said it was embarrassing. You tweeted that it was embarrassing, and of course it was. Of course it was. Why wouldn't it be? Because these stans, the people that are doing this, those are stans. Not fans. The fans would be the ones that saying, guys, don't do this, or would be happy that she decided to become became a fan of him. That's the difference. That's the difference. A stan would be angered that a person of such quote in their mind of low quality were to like something that they like. But a fan would be happy that somebody else, especially someone with an audience like she did, could bring in more people to enjoy his content. That's the big difference between a stan and a fan. Okay? Stans will react negatively, while fans will react positively. All right? When like, and this applies to a lot of things, like, you know, like sports teams and stuff like that. When a sports team loses, a fan, you know, they'll be upset for a little bit. You know, I've seen that happen. But a fan will always go, "You'll get him next time." A stan will just do one or two things. They'll either trash the team that they're going for, or continue to absolutely trash the opposite team. Even they'll just deny the fact that their team lost and continue to trash on the other team that obviously won. Does that sound like anything that happened to anyone? Technoblade. Ah, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Even though Technoblade won fair and square, it was half and half. It was 10 rounds in each of their respected, you know, ones. And you know what happened? I personally think when it comes to skill, they're pretty fucking even, man. They're fucking even when it comes to skill. But I think that Technoblade just had a better day. I think that Technoblade just prepared maybe a minute longer, maybe a half a minute longer, maybe a second longer, and that's all he needed. And that's all that matters. Technoblade won the duel. And you know what happened? Dream should have won. Dream should have won. Dream was the one who won. Blah, 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 blah. That's how stans react. How fans react is to say, you know what? Good job on Techno. He beat Dream. And we know that Dream is really good. So that means that Technoblade must also be really good. A fan can respect the enemy of who they are a fan of, especially when they lose. Or even if they win, they'll be like, well, you know what? That guy still put up a good fight. Do you know why Technoblade had to win that fight? Because if Technoblade lost, he would be shit on for the rest of his you're the guy. He would be known as the guy who lost to Dream. If Dream lost, well, guess what? No one fucking cares. No one cares if Dream lost. Because his numbers are way bigger than Techno's. So it doesn't matter.
Want to find them. But there's actually way more haters that take it too far, and usually in a much, much worse way. I've had people try and find my address, spam my comment section, send me death threats, and so much more, but not from stans. Just from people who really, really don't like me. At this point, I see 1,000 times more comments about how terrible Dream stans are than I see Dream stans, like in general, like just in comment sections. Like I see not even just toxic Dream stans, but Dream stans in general. And I mean, of course, again, there's obviously specific examples of toxic fans. They do exist, but we shouldn't brand all stans as creepy or bad just because zero.
Okay, no, that's not what I'm. Again, this is like the same thing as saying, well, that guy's a criminal. He murdered somebody, but you know he felt bad for it, and he said sorry to the family, and the family forgave him. And since the family forgave him for murder, I don't think we should throw him in prison. Obviously, that's probably that situation's not going to happen, but yeah, I'm sure you can see the parallels. Just because everyone decides to say that he's not a criminal doesn't change the fact that he is a criminal, right? This is not all stans are creepy or bad. But that's incorrect. Most, if not all, stans are creepy or bad. Because that's what inherently a stan is. Right? Just like how most, if not all, criminals, actual criminals, not people that are like wrongly convicted or anything, but people that are actual criminals are actually bad. Because they are willingly breaking the law. Now, obviously, this is a fucking hard comparison between a stan and a criminal. I'm not saying that stans are criminals or anything like that. I'm saying that just because you decide to rebrand something as something else doesn't change what it is. You know, just by. Hi there. Are you a racist white slaver? No, I work in human resources. Oh, you work at human resources? You're not that bad. That's all you're doing, Dream. You're changing what stan means, but that's not what it is. A stan is exactly that. A stan. And let it stay that way. You know? You can't change something because what are we going to call these obsessive fans now? We're just going to call them obsessive fans? Cuz that makes fans look bad. There has to be a separate term to de-differentiate. Oh my god! To tell them apart. I'm just tell them apart. Hey, English was my second language. To tell them apart. All right. There has to be another word to tell them apart. There is a word to tell a law-abiding citizen and a criminal apart. Okay. There are words to that are supposed to do that. And that's what the word stan is.
0.00001% of actual toxic.
Okay, it's not that low. If it was that low, you wouldn't see things like what you saw happen with the one Instagram girl that got fucking flooded with and was attacked. I mean, you wouldn't see attacks as common. Attacks by your fan as common as it would be if this was the case.
Fans. I know there's a lot of examples that people have used in the past in videos to say, here's some stalker fans stalking Dream. So I'm going to talk about them real quick. I'm sure I won't mention them all, but the ones that I remember. So there was a Twitter account created that was called Dream GPS.
Obviously, this was fake. Anyone that like knows about this knows that this was fucking fake.
And it tweeted out supposed GPS locations of where I was at every moment. So someone made a YouTube video about it that blew up that said my stans were trying to find me and that they were being extreme stalkers. But this actually wasn't the case at all. The Twitter account turned out to be a joke, but the replies to the tweets from this account were spammed by stans saying to report it and that the account was horrible. And because of the reports, the account got taken down before I even knew about it. And I've seen this happen on many, many occasions where the stans actually are preaching something very...
That's not a stan. Dream, that's a fan. They might call themselves stans. They might be like, I'm a stan, but by the definition of what they are, they're not a stan. They're a fan, and they're a good damn fan, and they're fans that you should have and you should keep. And those are people that I can respect, even if they call themselves stans. I can respect them. You know, like even let's say that this wasn't a joke. You know, it wasn't real. You know, or let's say if it was, if people didn't know if it was real or not, people would want to report it, because what that is incorrect, is wrong. You shouldn't. That's fucked up. You shouldn't be following some dude, you know, around and like tweeting about like where he is at the exact moment in time. Like, that's fucking creepy.
To a hater or another stan that's doing something wrong. But there was another video that talked extensively about how my fans were trying to find out what I look like, and they were pressuring me into doing a face reveal. But again, this just isn't true. I've definitely been stalked before, but not by stans. I've had Dream haters try and find out where I live and what I look like, but I've only seen Dream stans trying to stop them, replying to people that...
That is incorrect. There are plenty of stans that I've seen in Twitter, Instagram, everywhere, that are stans that are big obsessive fans of you and have tried their best to figure out what you look like, to figure out where you live. Now, is what he's saying, are there haters that are trying to do it? Of course there are, because you see, stans and haters are the same person, but on two different, they're same coin. They're like two different sides of the same coin. That's what they are. Right? Ultimately, both a hater and a stan is bad for your audience. It's bad for your community. You don't want haters and you don't want stans. You want supportive people that are willing to criticize you for mistakes that you make, and are willing to thank you, and are willing to accept your flaws. You don't want somebody that's there to glorify you. You want somebody that's there to support you. Those are two different things. And more likely than not, you can't have those two things at the same time.
Even mentioned me face revealing, saying to not pressure me, and just generally being extremely supportive. So the main problem is just that people see that someone calls themselves a stan and automatically shun them and say that they're stalkers. Or
That is true. Again, a lot of people don't. A lot of people use the word stan lightly. One of my friends, I don't think he's obviously not a stan, but he likes to call himself a stan because, well, he really likes this one thing, and he'll be like, well, I'm a stan this, or I'm a stan that. People use the term stan lightly, and again, it's going back to the to like the word weeb or weeaboo. You know, people use the word weeb really lightly now. You know, it doesn't have as much impact, and I think that's what's happening with stans. And this happens all the time. This happens to words all the time in history. The more time a word is used, the less impact the word becomes. And this applies to, for example, a lot of negative words. It happens to cuss words. It fucking happens to racist words even. The more time a word is used, the less impact it becomes. And as it happened with weeb, it happened with stans. So when someone says I'm a stan, they're not actually saying I'm a stan. They're saying I'm just a really big fan. But they're using the wrong word for that. They're using the word stan. Again, the word is losing its impact. It's not, the meaning is not changing, but the word is losing its impact. And because of that, people think it's okay to be like, I'm a stan. And honestly, frankly, unless I actually see stan behavior, I'm not going to outright call anyone out if I don't have any proof. Okay? And frankly, it's a waste of time. Right? If someone says, I'm a stan, I'm like, okay, cool, you're a stan. Now what? What am I going to do? Attack you? What am I going to do? Waste my time on attack? I don't even understand people who do that. I legitimately don't. Why? If this guy really likes something, even if it's to an unhealthy amount, why the fuck are you in any way or shape or form involved with that person? Anyways, even if they actually are a stan, why attack them? I don't understand that. If I had a chance to talk to an actual stan, and I would sit down, I would talk to them about it. I wouldn't attack them, right? So I actually agree with this statement that Dream is saying. I was like, the second someone says I'm a stan, whether or not they're actually a stan or just a really big fan, but they call themselves a stan, they immediately get attacked for it, which I find absolutely ridiculous and stupid, and honestly, just frankly a waste of time.
they see somebody supporting me, and then they label them as a stan, making that person want to go, no, I'm not a stan, I'm just a fan, which makes it seem like a bad thing to be a stan. I mean,
because it is a bad thing to be a stan.
A lot of Dream haters attack anyone who says anything positive about me at all as a Dream stan.
Yeah, no, that one's correct. Anyone that's like, I like Dream, I enjoy his video, you're a Dream stan. I mean, what the fuck? That's fucking stupid. That's really dumb. And that one, I definitely disagree with that statement, you know? Like, I personally think that if you shouldn't be attacked just for saying you like something, unless that thing that you like is something that's racist, you know, anything that's actually fucked up, you know, like I like killing babies or some shit, like then I'm gonna fucking pull out a gun and I don't know, probably do something. YouTube, calm down. YouTube, calm down. It's just a joke. It's a joke, YouTube. Oh.
They say I'm a good Minecraft player. They get shot down and made fun of and told that I'm actually not that good. And I mean, a lot of Technoblade fans...
Bro, who the fuck thinks that? Who the fuck thinks that? That's fucking stupid. They've seen you play. I mean, yeah, in Manhunts, you're really... luck is like a good 30% of like the actual game. But luck can only bring you so far. You also need skill to be able to properly use the luck that you're given. And it was shown that you have the skill. I've seen you in Minecraft Monday. You have, or Minecraft Championship. You have the skill. You're clearly skilled. You're a good parkour. You're a good speedrunner. Like,
or just Dream haters see anyone calling me better than Techno or just one of the best Minecraft players as toxic.
Dream Stan, stop being toxic. G's. Techno split the money with Dream. No need to be mad. The thing with Techno fans is that Techno fans are significantly less toxic than Dream, but they are about 3 times more toxic to techno than Dream stands are. I mean, Dream, you lost that duel, but techno lost. And you know why? Because his fans were just spamming. We're just spamming. Boo! You didn't 10-0 him. You didn't 10-0 him. You suck. Literally. And obviously, it was a joke. That's something that happens all the time in techno's community, which is that because people are so aware of techno, of how good techno actually is at the game. They set these extremely high expectations that techno is supposed to complete because of the things he's done in the past, like winning Minecraft Monday, Minecraft Championships a fuck ton of times, playing over 1,000 games of fucking Sky Wars or Bed Wars or whatever in a row without losing once. Literally spending 8 months to beat one fucking random ass dude at farming potatoes. I mean, like, he's done a lot of crazy things in the past. He fucking 3v20'd an entire fucking group on Minecraft. I think it was like Ultimate Championships or whatever. Like, it was like the Hunger Games or some shit. Like, he's done a lot of crazy things in the past. So, his fans kind of just have these high expectations of him. Probably higher expectations than your fans do. So anytime he makes even a single mistake, or if anything happens, they'll just crush him for it. But then, obviously it's a joke, but sometimes you can get a little too far. But I honestly don't see Dream. I don't see techno fans. I don't ever see them attack Dream fans or Dream stans because they're too fucking busy attacking techno.
Stance, which just isn't true. Going back to my sports example, I know I've had plenty of arguments with people about how one player is better than another, especially the players that I like. It may be biased, but it's natural. I mean, if you're a big fan of somebody, you know all of their strengths. You know everything about them. You're more likely to think that they're better than they actually are. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're wrong. It could, but it definitely doesn't mean that you're toxic. It just means you're a little biased in your opinion, which is fine. I mean, it's fine to be biased. You're biased towards the people.
Everyone will always be biased. Everyone will always be biased. There's no way a person can be unbiased, because based on how a person grows up and how they develop as a child, they will naturally, subconsciously become biased towards certain things, and it is that bias that makes us natural and makes us people. Because the one thing that robots don't have, the one thing that AI and stuff like that don't have is they don't have biases. They have ones and twos that determine which option is the best. But for us as people, we'll think one thing is better than the other, even though it is quite clearly that the other thing is better. And that's what Dream is saying. Dream is saying that you're always going to be biased, especially if you really, really like someone and you invest a lot of time into somebody. You're always going to be biased towards that one person or thing or team or game or whatever you're interested in.
Things you like, and that's just natural. I think that wraps up a lot of the things that are brought up consistently, but obviously there's some others. But almost every single thing that I see brought up regarding stans is just completely false or very, very out of context. I don't agree with...
I think what you're saying is... I think you make a lot of good points, Dream. But I also think that you're mislabeling things. Again, I think I've repeated this about 1,000 times now, and I'm sure if you get to this point in the video, you would have seen it. But it is quite obvious that you're changing Stan to be fan, and that's not how it's supposed to go.
Everything my fans do, obviously. And if they overstep boundaries, I tell them that I didn't like what they did. I tell them it made me uncomfortable. And you can see that on my Twitter as recently as a few days ago. But when I tell them, they stop because they genuinely care about me and look up to me, and why would they want to make me upset? But the people who don't like me, they don't care and they don't stop. So it makes it much worse. And that is a huge difference between Dream haters and Dream...
Okay. So, this is something that probably might only apply to Dream. that or yeah, that might be applied. This might be a few things that apply to, because I know that in a lot of different fandoms and stuff, when even when a creator tells someone to stop doing something, like, oh my god, the Steven Universe fandom is fucked. It is fucked. Like they start attacking. They, like, I remember like the Steven Universe fandom literally bullied a girl who just happened to draw like one of the characters skinny almost to death. And then when Rebecca Sugar, the creator of the fandom, was like, yo, you should stop, they attacked Rebecca Sugar. Like, yeah, so in that case, that's an example of a bad stan. Now, the dream stans are very special in the fact that they're not interested in they're not interested in a TV show or a group. They're interested in a person, which means that and if that's the case, then that's someone that they can please. When you are a stan of a person, it's actually different from being a stan to a video game or being a stan to a thing, because you like the game. You may like the game, but you may not like the people who made the game. Right? But it's different for a stan, because if a stan is, if you're a stan for a person, you're gonna want to try and please that person. So obviously, they're gonna, if you tell them to stop doing something, they're gonna, because they're gonna be licking at your boots.
Should they be doing things that make me say to stop in the first place? No. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect, especially not me. You know what I say?
Oh, hell yeah, Dream. Honestly, man, you need to chill out anytime anyone criticizes you, because the first thing you do is that you just fucking attack them, and then you apologize later. But like, this is a repetitive cycle that you tend to do every single time you receive harsh criticism. Is that you can't handle you can't handle the first blow, and you get used to it later on. You gotta be able to take that shit, man. Like, I know you blew up real big real quick, and I know that you were aware that you were gonna blow up real big real quick, but it's quite obviously you're still not aware of just how fucking massive you are. The glow squid thing that you did was fucking stupid. There's a reason none of the other other Minecraft YouTubers that at the time were about as big as you, there's a reason no one said anything about it, because they knew that their fans could easily change the sway, and the choice wouldn't be made because of like an actual choice being made. The choice would be made because one person and their group of followers decided for the choice to be made. So I thought what you did was very wrong there.
Like who you like, don't like who you don't like, but don't generalize a huge group of tens of thousands of people just because of one out of context tweet you probably saw. Let people look up to who they want to look up to. Shouldn't bother you, but if it does, that's fine. Just ignore it, move on, just like you would if someone said they liked ketchup on their broccoli. Sure, think it's weird, but I'm sure there's...
Alright, I kind of agree with this statement. If you see someone as a stan, why even bother going to attack them? Why even bother talking to them about it? It is a literal waste of time. What are you getting out of it for arguing against them? Well, you're gonna be like, yeah, I want an argument against a dream stan. The fuck? For what reason do you have to do that? Nothing. There's literally nothing. It is the most pointless fucking thing to do.
Something that you like that I think is just as weird. So the word stan doesn't mean stalker fan. As much as you can Google the definition and say it does, my stans are a group of amazing, incredible, creative...
No, I have ads. Gonna lower it down just a little bit. Alright, so... United States
people
Postal
that are some of the
Service.
most
I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
supportive people.
These people that you're showing right now are not... They're not stans, Dream.
The planet.
They're not stans.
If you don't like them, that's fine. That doesn't make them bad people. I could have not made this...
That might be true. Just because you're hyperly obsessive about a single person doesn't necessarily mean that you are a bad person. Being a stan, although I do believe that it is unhealthy to be extremely obsessive about a single person, character, thing, or whatever, because obsessions, that don't benefit you in a positive way in your life, that actually benefit you, not just like, oh, it makes me happy for like a split second. I think that obsessions like that are unhealthy shouldn't be supported. Therefore, I do not support stan culture, and I don't support people who stan, you know, certain things, because that's what a stan is. We're not even talking about like the fucking definition that's in like whatever Urban Dictionary or some shit. Because I don't have to look up what the term stan means, because the term stan has been was created and was used to describe an obsessive fan, an unhealthily obsessive fan, and therefore we shouldn't change that, right? Changing a negative term into a more positive one doesn't change the origins of the word. Okay? I mean, if you really want me to get like real fucking political and like and touchy with this shit, like we could talk about the N-word. The N-word was originally used, you know, as a form of you know, as a form of verbal abuse towards slaves. And now it is casually used by those descendants as a term of not endearment, but as a term of like a yo, like what's up, you know? But doesn't change where the word came from. Doesn't change where the word came from. Dream. It's the same thing with stan. The word stan came from the idea of an unhealthily obsessive fan. It doesn't change where the word came from. Anyways, so if you ever watch this video, probably not. This video is probably not going to get any views, but if it does, and you like anything I do, I don't do anything on this channel, but I guess you could subscribe. That'd be nice.